Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make your inputs better on your Webflow sites. Really, anyone can use these tips on any custom page they're making, even if you're using just plain HTML code. These tricks will work. The first thing I want to do is cover multi-select. In Webflow or in HTML, you can allow multiple selection by adding the multiple true attribute to a select field. But if you publish this, it looks very weird. You almost never see this in the real world, but it's the default HTML multi-select. You technically can select multiple things here. It's just not a great experience though, because you need to hold Command to actually use it, or some other keyboard key. If I just click multiple things, it like toggles between them. You can drag. Most people don't know how to use this, and it looks pretty clunky. The first thing I want to show is select to, which is available at select2.org, and it's a way to make your select fields a little bit better, especially if you're using multi-select. The way that you implement this is go to the basic usage tab, and there's a little bit of guidance here. What you want to do is copy this and paste it into your page, into a script tag in the body. In Webflow, this puts it at the end of the body by putting it here. You want to target your select field. So in this case, I've already added the ID select tag field. So we do hashtag select tag field dot select to. And what this script just says is when the document has loaded fully, target the select field and turn it into a select to. In order for that to work, we need to also install select to on this page. So we're just going to do that via CDN. Don't worry if you don't know what that means. Just you can copy this and paste it in the head. And then for select to, you also need jQuery. You can just Google jQuery. I'll just Google it to show you. And we have the first result here. We want to download it, and we want to use the CDN to make it easy for us right now. And then it doesn't really matter which one of these you click, but I'm going to do slim minified copy, and then I'm going to put that in the bottom of my body tag, but above my script. Where you put the jQuery tag, you might need to put it in the header of your document. Webflow has this weird quirk with jQuery. If I go and publish that though, now that code should just run. Oops, let's see, something went wrong. jQuery is not defined. I'll try removing jQuery first. Sometimes Webflow preloads jQuery and sometimes it doesn't, depending on the project. And if you double load jQuery, sometimes you get weird errors. That doesn't seem to have worked, so let me try the opposite. I will put the jQuery in the head, and I will put the scripts in for select to in the end of the body. We'll refresh that, and okay, now it's working. You can see here now that we have this new field set up using the select to default styles, and it allows for a much better multi-select experience with multiple true enabled. If you just have single select, this will work as well. You can disable the multiple attribute and it will just work with single select and style it the same and everything. Overall, just a way better experience than the default HTML. The second thing I'm going to show is date pickers. I'm going to pause the video and pull up the necessary pages for that right now. For date pickers, there's no field type in Webflow for date. As you can see here, we have plain text, email, password, phone number, and URL. There's a default HTML date picker technically. In HTML, if I can do it, I'll show you what this will look like. So we'll add a custom code block to this page. Input type equals date, name equals nothing. And I'll publish that, and we will view And as you can see here at the bottom, there is a date picker here. This does technically work. The issue is that it's not flexible and it doesn't work on every browser. There are, at the time of recording, a lot of legacy browsers that don't have support for this at all. And if the browser a user is using doesn't support this, they just won't see a date picker. They'll see a text field instead. What I would recommend instead of using the default HTML date picker is using something like flatpickr. The way that this works is similar to select2. You want to set an ID on the element, so we'll just call this date field. And then we'll want to install via CDN again, just by copying that non-module environments script. And we'll put that in the same place as the jQuery, or as the select2. You don't actually need jQuery for the flatpickr. It just works out of the box with just the flatpickr code. And then you need to have a separate script run to create the flatpickr on the front end. So we will just quickly, or we can actually just add to this block date field dot flatpickr. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, that looks right. This should work. We'll publish. And now we have this new date picker set up. You can select the date, the year, go month to month. You can also add in the optional settings. There are a lot of things you can do, like theming. You can change the formatting. You can add time support if you want to collect a date time instead of just the date. But the number one thing is that it works across all browsers the same way. So you don't have to guess and check on every browser type that your users are using. So I would highly recommend you implement this as well on any date fields you're creating. So that covers the two things I wanted to talk about in this video. If you have any questions about either of these, please let us know in the comments. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day.